children in danger and putting all their playthings outside mine.
It's a really long
road.
You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know, I've seen it. In my view, they didn't look as if they were right outside yours, if you like. And I think just because it's right, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
No, of course.
Just because they're right outside yours, you're no more entitled to the area outside your flat than somebody else's who lives maybe in number 30. You'd like to think if all residents got on, you'd have a bit of an unofficial agreement and tell you what, Marion, I'll have this part of the garden, you have that part, and you have that part, and you'd all you'd all stick to each other, but you haven't got that kind of camaraderie within Shrewsbury.
No, I appreciate what you're saying, and I have asked him many times, can he do something so I feel secure. I said I feel threatened and feel in danger with the disputes going on, and my pathway being used as an access point for next door constantly. The strangers when I go there, they're just staring at me, heavies and everything. I've had someone knock on the door, the early hours of the morning. I just automatically got up and opened it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's actually two entrances to the
three. I've got one and they've got two, but they use mine for access to next door constantly.
Right, well, if you think that they shouldn't be using that
it's
for access...
It's not that they shouldn't be using it. I think what Manny's trying to say is to avoid any arguing and saying, right, will you pass in my window, and then if everyone's rubbing each other up, maybe if they started using the other one, or it's one of those, this is where the landlord needs to become a more involved.
And there's other issues as well, because obviously, Marion, your kids have grown up and they've not moved on or whatever. They'll say when we played in the garden, whereas there's obviously other people there who've got really young kids, so the perception is that they're making more use of the garden than what you are, because they've got their sort of paraphernalia in there, they've got the trampoline, their swimming pool, so I can understand from your perspective, you might think they're taking over this garden because
they are
purely by the amount of
no, sorry, not because of that. I don't begrudge any child, any toy or anything, but what I do begrudge is the fact that I can't put a chair out there and sit there without them coming either removing it or intimidating me with the bouncy castle. There's plenty of room to put it back to the side and everything, but they choose to put it right by where I sat, by my washing line. We had 3 chairs there and they were moved, and then they put this, in place of it, they put the big bouncy castle right behind it. The gardener put the bouncy castle back a bit so it wasn't so intrusive, and the children could have still played in it. They could have moved it back there, the children could have still played in it. They could have moved it to the right of me and they still could have played in it. They could have even moved it over to their side, to the nanny's part of the garden, they could have played there. But no, they chose to do it right by my washing line where my chairs were, and that was the only space that I'm allowed with them.
Right, okay. I think I'm not necessarily sticking up for them, but I know with the bouncy castle it needs to be connected to a power source to actually keep it kind of inflated. Now I don't know whether...
Oh, the bouncy castle? No, I'm talking about the thing you bounce on.
Oh, the trampoline?
The trampoline.
Oh, sorry, right, okay. Yeah, I understand with the bouncy castle that to be kind of probably closer to a power point than
honestly,
the trampoline.
It doesn't bother me if
right.
there was consideration shown, but they have all the children outside screaming and screaming and screaming. I never get any rest when they're around or anything like that. It's constant, it never stops. They sit on one side and put everything on my side. And that's what I'm saying, I just put 3 chairs out. My washing line's there, I put 3 chairs out to sit on, they moved them. And they brought this big bouncy thing right behind it. I've got the thing, the photos if you want to see.
Yeah, it's difficult on this because you say then it's like it's on my side. It's
not a case of my side.
It's not. I know you mentioned my side. It's not.
Oh,
sorry. It's not your side in the eyes of.
Just where the chairs are.
If tenants aren't getting on, they may think, I'm going to do this now to upset Mary. I'm going to put this in. And I know that nobody could do anything about it because everyone shares the garden area. So I think it takes kind of 2, or it takes everyone to come together and think, you know what, I'll show you some respect. And
I've always shown respect. I took everything out of the garden when they moved in. I stopped going in the garden. But sometimes, nice weather, it would be nice if I was allowed to sit out without it, feeling I was intimidating them, or they moving my things. I would never dream of moving their things.
So what say for example tomorrow, you wake up, beautiful day, what would happen, what would be your routine tomorrow? with regards to the use of your garden? If it was safe,
I just probably wouldn't use it. I might go out and have a cup of tea. I've left one chair up. It depends on the weather. And I might go out and have a cup of tea and then I'll take the dog for a walk and then I'll come back.
Okay, so
I don't sit in the garden. I was a gardener.
Yeah.
I didn't need to take any of the garden. I had table and chairs down the bottom.
Yeah.
And I removed them. But what they do is every time I put a chair out, they put a surrounding one around it, so I'd move it again. And then I'd move it again, being polite. Now, I couldn't quite understand.
So when you say they, who are the specific people who do that?
Mark and his girlfriends.
Okay. So,
Andrea.
yeah. So, just need to try and make some inroads about the communal garden. Just kind of, each people have shown each other a little bit of sort of respect, if you like, by not encroaching too much on each other's kind of space. And it's.
They have a shed. They have loads of logs down the bottom for the children to play on. They've got loads of space around here if they wanted. They've got the washing line there, but they choose. I've got one washing line out, and they choose to do everything round this washing line and round my area, outside my window.
Right, okay.
It feels, I mean, from what Marion's saying, it feels targeted.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, this is your area and we want it. You know, it's like they're encroaching on you.
Yeah, as I said, the way I see it, I've been round the block once to facilitate whatever they want, but they can't be facilitated because I've started going round again now and they've done the same again. I'm not going round no more, it's just a game. You know, I've backed off, giving them whatever they wanted. They're reasonable in every way, and they don't want that. They are attacking me, as far as I'm concerned, all the time.
And the pressing buttons on
I've had the doorbell.
reaction.
Yeah, I've had my doorbell stolen twice.
What's stolen twice?
My doorbell.
Yeah.
I've had a pole from the garden that they said was dangerous stolen, and you know your washing line pole, that was only round one like that was in the garden. That was taken from the little bit outside mine. However, for years I've had the twirly poles, which I would consider to be more dangerous. I can't think of the things that I've had done to me. It's ongoing. I've had my shelf broken into, I've had my house broken into. I can't think of, you know, it's just constant.
Yeah.
And I mean constant. Even if I don't go out in the garden, they accuse me of stealing them. And I haven't gone out since. I got the cameras up so that if anyone coming, they couldn't accuse me of taking anything in and stealing again. They've made an issue over the cameras, and you know, and now they're making an issue that I'm a bad neighbour.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like there's quite a lot of work to be done within Shrewsbury to actually give a bit of peace in there with.
I think the landlord, there needs to be more liaison going on with the landlord. That's my personal
view. I mean, I've spoken to Jim plenty of times. He always seems quite amenable, because I was the one who asked him to write to residents about the use of the communal garden, and he'd done that. And I asked him as well with regards to the CCTV. So he's done so far everything that I've asked him to do.
Would he consider mediating then, or maybe sending a representative from his firm to mediate and discuss and get like a little tenants association going, because it's a big block with a lot of tenants.
Can I just say as well, that they put that shed up and there was smoke and pot in it constantly. Everyone that came to visit me, there's only a few people, could smell it.
Yeah.
Because of the trouble I was having, my grandson came down to try and help me.
Yeah.
And he's just your typical lad around here and everything. And he sat them down in the garden trying to be friends, and I'm worried that he'll give them drugs or anything like that.
Okay, well, do you have any allegations to make about drug taking? The police throw them. Just because people have complained about you, and I'm discussing allegations that have been made against yourself, Marion. There's nothing to stop you obviously engaging with myself in our team to put complete instant diaries about incidents that you're subjected to, and also we feel there's elements of drug taking. Phone the police.
I do have a problem with communicating with your organisation. The police did give it me at first.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's all pen and paper, and I am dyslexic.
Right.
So I get really frustrated over it. Angela's the only agency that's come up to take me on, as I said, as a full package. Dyslexia, everything, emotional difficulties.
Right. Okay. Going to bring this interview to a close shortly. Okay, I'm going to have a bit of a chat. Once the tapes are off. Is there anything that you wanted to say to me before I formally close this interview?
I'd just like to say that before this, all this trouble, I couldn't have faulted my landlord in any way.
Yeah.
Every tenant that I knew, he was the only one that I've ever known, and none of the tenants ever had a problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what I should say anymore, but...
It's up to you. If you feel it's pertinent to what's going on.
I do feel it. It's been said that Jim has been having relationships with the lady next door's daughter, which lives in Oxton Village.
Yeah.
And I personally believe they've got something on him and maybe blackmailing him in some way, because he's never ever been like this. Never. He's come out when I was in the other flats, when the alarms would go downstairs for another tenant on an Easter Sunday. He's come down with keys, he sends anyone down for keys. He's just been absolutely faultless as far as I was concerned, and anyone else. And it's only since these have all moved on together, round the corner, he's moved all of this family. You know, they come from Manchester, I think, or someplace that way, and this has been going on. And they told me when they moved in that the girl next door, when I used to talk to her, because she befriended me instantly.
Yeah.
And she told me they could fill that property. And they also, I brought her in my property to show her.
Yeah.
And I believe that she saw it and has it pinned down for a niece that wants to move in there.
All right, into your flat?
Yeah, I believe they want me out so they can move another member of the family in.
Right.
And also, the nephew is upstairs. We've been neighbours for years and years, never had any problems. And I said to him yesterday, I said, do you know that anything about this, me being taken to the house and to get evicted? And he said no.
Right, okay. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, anything else? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
actually.
that's fine. Your responses.
And that's to you,
Yeah, no, well, that's what you need support for.
Yeah.
Your responses that you give here today, Marion, will be discussed with the borough solicitor before a course of action is decided. Okay. Need to give you this notice that explains how you can get a copy of the disc if you so wish. Okay, just confirm for the benefit of tape. I've given you a copy of that. Okay, so I'll terminate the interview now, unless anyone's got anything else to say. Time on my watch is now 2:51 in the afternoon, and the machine will be switched off.
And there you have it. The only right of reply that she had was simply to defend herself. Now this man should have said, at the end of it, after his police caution, you don't have to, by the way, have a police officer's uniform on. Even CID will tell you that. You just stand up and repeat the police officer's caution, and you are there and then presenting yourself to be a police officer. This man started off that way. He did not produce any evidence. It was all hearsay. So even on that count, this interrogation should not have begun. The woman that sat next to her to support her failed her as per usual, because she should have said, hang on a moment, you have no right first of all to stand as a police officer and giving her a caution, and that whatever she may say may be taken down as evidence and used in a court of law. You don't do that, hang on, what? And secondly, where's your evidence? Hearsay evidence is inadmissible, even in an interview, let alone a court. Thirdly, you Mr. Council, instead of decrying this woman having CCTV put in, you should put it in. It's your duty according to law. The ASB law. It's now ASB since the 14th of March, I believe it's 2014. They changed it from ASBO to ASB. But it's still there. Why? The man started off a criminal. Posing as a police officer. Have you ever heard of such arrogance and reckless behaviour in public office? Malfeasance in public office. Pagan, and the woman that sat with this old lady doesn't challenge him. Unbelievable. Just mealy mouthed. Oh, well, we'll have a talk. We'll have a talk with you, Mr. O'Brien, afterwards. And we'll see what we can do. You know how it goes. And you know something? This was on the 12th of June, 2015. All right? The 12th of June. On the 18th of June, this old lady was written to and she was found guilty of, from this interview, she was found guilty, I know, of antisocial behaviour. And that the city solicitor was giving her a formal warning. An in-house tool, they said. So, her advocate at the time, not at the time, he came along in 2016, a year later. He saw this and he asked where the city solicitor's letter is then, telling her that she was found guilty of antisocial behaviour according to the evidence on this tape. What evidence? So the gentleman wrote to Mike O'Brien and the solicitor and asked them for a copy of this. They didn't respond because there was no response. The city solicitor did not issue an antisocial order sentence. He didn't. He wouldn't. Because he himself knows that if he did so, he'd get in trouble. Mike O'Brien never referred, that's the bottom line of it, never referred to the city solicitor because he knew damn well that he couldn't. And then, when he had issued that, he then said, formal warning. Well, formal warning comes from a police officer. He's back to normal. He's back to the same situation. Only police officers can give you a formal pegging warning. Huh? Not the council. There is no law provided for the council to give this woman a formal warning, and indeed on top of the fact that there was no evidence to give her a formal warning. And to be found guilty of antisocial behaviour because there's no evidence here. It's wrongdoing, it's reckless behaviour in public office by Mike O'Brien. And another thing that was pointed out to these blackguards. You say she was guilty of antisocial behaviour. You have no lawful right to do that. Only the magistrate's court has the legal authority to declare this woman guilty or not guilty of antisocial behaviour. And if it went to a magistrate's court, which you should put the papers to, because it is not your job to sit as a court, who gave you the right to sit as a court? Skippy? Because it's a kangaroo court, isn't it? There is no legal grounds. And there's no evidence. And hence why you couldn't put any evidence before a proper court. So you sat as a court yourself. Eh? And pronounced. This is Wirral Metropolitan Borough Council sitting as gods. Attacking old ladies. They wouldn't attack a fully grown man or a fully grown woman. Oh no, just get an easy target. These boys are bully boys. They wouldn't take you and I on. By heck. You know her legal advisor? They ran a mile. They ran a pegging mile from him. Cowards. Cowards. Bully boys. And what does the council say? And what is the procedure? Stop bullying. They're the ones that are bullying. Ageism. They're the ones that are involved in ageism. Fitting people up. They're the ones fitting people up. They're attacking members of the public whom they should serve. This interview, this interrogation says it all. And I am absolutely livid with how one wicked human being, civil servant, has treated this other human being. Did he not get enough bullying of other people at school? And with the rest of them in the council? I tell you what, bring the buggers to me and I'll have them. Dirty pigging dogs. Vile. And this is what the taxpayer pays for. These people breaking the law that they should substantiate and